So continuing our discussion of how to get started in Excel, let's take a look at using functions in our formulas. Now, over in Excel, here I have Excel set up with the Homepage tab, but if I go to the Formulas tab, you can see all the different categories of functions here. So, AutoSum is probably the most frequently used, and then we have Financial. You can see there's a huge list of those. Logical, the logical connectives, which we'll deal with when we get to that in our course. We'll also deal with some of these text functions, date and time, math and trig, and plenty more, statistics, engineering, blah blah, etc. Okay, so let's do something simple at first here. I'm going to set up a formula. I'll put the equal sign to tell Excel that I'm doing a formula. And then let's go in the date and time category. And I'm just going to pick today. Okay. It takes no arguments. And it just returns today's date. And this is today's date for me. The thing about this function is it will always be today when you open up your version of Excel, depending on what date you have set on your computer. So just be aware of that. It won't stay the same. But of course that can be something you want. Okay, let's try something a little more ambitious here. Suppose I want the sum of everything in this column. So I'm going to do equals, again, telling it that I'm doing a formula. And then I could just write sum. If you know the name of the function you want, you can just write it. Or you can look it up. This is probably in the math functions. Let's just see. Yep, here it is. Okay, and they give you this nice description of what the function does and what kind of arguments it takes to help you along. Okay, so it just sort of went ahead and did, assumed that I wanted G1 to G21. Let's actually do the G20. Okay. Another thing to point out, see the colon here? That's how I give some a range of values. So this says from G1 to G20. I could, of course, have individually clicked on each of these and put plus signs to make it add them all up, but this is so much faster. And a lot of times it's what you want, to do something to a range. There's also an average function and other functions that can be applied to ranges. Now again, just to show the power of Excel, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to change, let me change this one. I don't want to mess up my formula. So I'm going to change this, and instead of 50, I'm going to go 1050. Whoa, this got so much bigger. How come? Well, the thing is, this number, remember, is the one that's being added to every other number as we go down. It's the number in G1. So when I changed this, because of the formula used to compute these guys, I changed each of those. So I didn't just add 1,000 to this, I also added 1,000 to every one of these. And that's why I got such a big number as my answer. Okay, so what I would encourage you to do is explore all these different functions, play around with them, try writing some formulas that have functions in them, try creating some spreadsheets, and that's the way you're going to familiarize yourself and learn how things work.